Hey everyone, this is Jen Kinkade, Garden Girl with Two Peas in a Bucket, and it's time for another Scrap Your Stash video, and today I'll be talking about ink daubers. I will be showing you how I made this layout using the Hero Arts ink daubers as well as Tim Holtz distress stains. Here we have some of the neon in yellow, pink, and purple. This is a Tide Pool dauber, and these are distress stains, one in peacock feather and the other in a black ink. I have American Crafts foam thickers, letter stickers by Basic Gray and Jelly Bean Soup, printables by Banana Fish Studio, and I have some cardstock, pattern paper by Crate Paper on Trend and DIY lines, and then some embellishments. I have some silhouette cameo cuts that you'll see I end up using at the end of my layout but forgot to use in the video. Some wood veneers by Two Peas, Freckled Fawn, Studio Calico, some of which I'll use and some I won't. Freckled Fawn arrows and enamel dots, my mind's eye enamel dots, and some new embellishments by Basic Gray, their carte postal line that coordinates with their capture line as well. I begin my layout with my cardstock and 3 photos of my daughter, who decided she wanted to go shark fishing this year at the beach. That was her main goal of the beach this year, was to go fishing and catch a shark. So I have these 3 photos cropped into squares and laid out on my cardstock how I think I want them to appear on my layout. And then I'm going to measure this paper by Crate Paper. It has Today written all over it in a white typewriter font, and I'm going to use just a section of it on the left side of my layout. And you see I'm marking it on my cardstock with a pencil, and I also marked it on the pattern paper as well. So I'm going to get ready and make sure it's the right size, and then I'll take the other paper and cut it down just a little bit as well, seeing how I want it to fit on there, how much of it I want to show. And then I just decided I would take probably about a 2-inch to 3-inch section there, and that will help pull in some of the colors that I'm going to use later. Now comes the fun part, using the ink daubers. You can see I'm just pouncing them on the paper to create that splat, and this is a more controlled splat. With some of them you might have to pounce a little bit harder at first. I would recommend testing these out on a scrap piece of paper just to be sure, because some of these daubers are a little bit juicier than others. And I let it dry, and you can see I added some more to the very left of my page because I wanted the splatters to stick out or kind of border my pattern paper. And I'm going to show you here again how I just added a little bit of pink there to the side, and I did blot these others with paper towels because I am just a little bit too impatient to let it dry for very long. So keep paper towels handy, and please protect your surface, and don't wear good clothes when you're doing this by all means, because it could splatter on your clothes. So now I'm adhering the pattern paper in black and the strip of the colored paper, and you can see how that pulls in the colors of the ink splats. And I'm going to show you next how I colored some wood veneer. A various wood veneer that I had pulled from Freckled Fawn, Two Peas, and Studio Calico. The first thing I'm going to show you is one of the wood cards from Two Peas that says "You are awesome." And I pre-selected my colors, and I'm using some washi tape to both tape off the border and secure it to my poster board on the desk. And I would say use a light hand with this because it does bleed just a little bit, and keep a paper towel nearby so you can blot up the excess. I'm going to pull off this, and I'm going to lay down another strip down there, up there, sorry. And I would say when you are laying your washi tape down, leave a tiny bit of a border between your colors unless you're giving it adequate time to dry. Otherwise, your 2 colors will bleed a little bit. But like I said, use a light hand with it at first. You can always blot or go back and add more color. So now I'm using the neon yellow, and I will remove the washi tape once again, reposition it there over the yellow, and I'll do my last color. I'm going to be using the neon pink this time, and you'll see this time that I didn't even cover completely the whole surface because I can go back with my paper towel, blot it, and blend it into the wood because the wood is so absorbent of this ink. So now you can see how I created a fun wood card using 3 different colors and washi tape of the ink daubers. I'm going to show you just a comparison here of one I had made beforehand as well, and I'm deciding to use that one on the right. I like both of them, but I just chose to use the one on the right that I had made previously. So now I'm going to start putting this all together, and I'm adhering this wood card down with some tacky craft glue. At the moment of this video, I had burnt my glue gun out. Otherwise, I would probably use my hot glue gun. But the tacky glue has worked really well in keeping these wood pieces adhered down. Pop dots are always good to use as well. Now this date card by 2Ps, I'm choosing just to leave plain. I didn't want to overwhelm the whole page with too much color since there is a lot going on. So that's why I chose not to use the ink on this date frame. Again, using the tacky glue all around my frame, and I'm just going to set it on top of my picture just like that, and those two surfaces between the wood and the picture will keep it adhered. I'm quite happy with how it's turned out so far, and I decided I wanted to add some black splatters using the black Distress Stain ink. So I'm covering up my photos to not splatter any ink there. I'm going to take that and just make a nice stab, and you see how it splattered a little bit off my page. Again, I have poster board covering up my desk to protect that, keeping my towel handy and blotting up the excess. I'm going to add a little touch of pink, and that just creates a fun cluster up there where you'll see I'm going to add some embellishments later. Now I'm taking some of the printables, the banana fish printables, and I'm adding them in the row of my center photo and also the other wood card that I had stained with the inks. And it's almost like the middle creates a bit of a banner. It draws your eye to the middle of the page there, the main photo with the shark that she's holding. I'm going to continue to add various embellishments and accents to my page. I'm using my hole punch to punch a hole in that printable, and I'm going to add a brad to it later. One of the new basic gray lines brads. And these are the flare badges that I'm getting out now from Basic Gray. It says adventure is here. Right now you'll see that I am working on that cluster up there by the ink splatters. And you can use a paper piercer, scissors. Just be very careful whenever you're doing that so you don't poke through the page and hurt your hand in some way. This is just the way that I do it. Now I have most of my brads in place, and I'm going to start working with the Studio Calico wood veneer bubble. Now that I know where I want it to go, I'm going to pull out the pink neon ink dauber by Hero Arts, and I'm going to color that. I chose the pink because my daughter's wearing a hot pink tank top in this, and I just wanted it to complement the pictures of her as well as some of the pink accents I've already made using the ink dauber. And so I colored that, wiped it off with the paper towel once again, and I'm using pop dots to raise it and adhere it to my page. And I think it's just a fun addition to add some color and draw your eye towards the middle of the page. And Basic Gray also has a really nice package of wood embellishments. And I'm using this geotag that I colored with the bright yellow and the neon yellow. And I'm going to adhere that with just some tacky glue, a little bit on the back. and put it right above that printable cutout that I had already adhered to the page. And now I'm going to show you how I made these letters for part of my title. I'm starting out with these foam thickers from American Crafts, just plain white. And I had experimented before about how I wanted them, and I knew I wanted to do a bit of an ombre effect. So I just took the ink dauber and I colored the top part of the letter, and I'm taking a Q-tip to drag the ink down and create that ombre effect. Really easy, really simple to do. You could do it with a paper towel or experiment with another way, possibly using your finger. I'm not sure. I just wanted it to be a little bit more controlled, and that's why I chose using a Q-tip to do that. And so I'm going to finish out the remainder of the same letters on this page. I'm going to be spelling out shark. And you might have to go over it a little bit. Some of the ink might absorb into the foam slightly, but you can always add more later rather than add too much in the beginning and not be able to fix that. Now here I'm doing my last letter, the K, and I'm going to get ready, or that's the R, sorry. Then I'm going to start adhering the letters to my page. Just right there between those two ink blobs. It just ties in nicely with the whole page, almost gives you a water effect in that part of the title. Just really happy with so many different ways you can use these ink daubers to add color to so many different types of embellishments or create a background on your page. They're just so versatile. The daubers are also a great way for controlled inking whenever you're stamping as well. So now I'm going to add the bottom part of my title on the page using the Jelly Bean Soup letter stickers. I'm going to use a variety of uppercase and lowercase. I do that a lot whenever I'm using smaller letter stickers like this, just to keep things fun. I like using the different. And now I'm going to add some my mind's eye enamel dots, different enamel dots to the whole page. It's just normally one of my last embellishments that I use whenever I'm creating a page. And once I've gotten to that part, I'm going to be getting ready to put my journaling down, and there I have my journaling, and this is the completed page. There's one more thing that I'd like to show you though using the ink daubers. Here I created a few cards, created backgrounds with the ink daubers stamped over them. I used a tiny paintbrush and painted inside of those hearts and just made dots or cross hatchings using the daubers themselves. Just really found them to be very versatile things to work with. I hope you had fun watching this video. Don't forget to upload your projects to the 2Ps gallery, showing us how you use ink daubers on your projects. This is Jen Kinkade, Garden Girl with 2Ps in a Bucket with Scrap Your Stash.